All right, let's get you a sense of what else we know. Take you straight to the Madlanga Justice College. That's where we find our reporter, Canny Maphanga, who's been listening in to what's been an eventful morning, Canny, at the commission today. Let's perhaps start off with where things have ended with Brigadier Matjeng's testimony. Once again, we're seeing the commissioners using a fine-tooth comb to go through those WhatsApp exchanges between Matjeng and Matlala.
Indeed. Good morning to you, Ayanda, and to the viewers once again. Well, that exercise is going to be lengthy because there are several tests that are being applied to those WhatsApp messages. It's not only about the claim of the romantic relationship, but it's seeing the extent to which she went beyond her role as the quality management section head at SAPS and goes to the extent of giving him significant information that is material to assisting him with making claims and succeeding in his tender bid and getting those payments out. So she states that this is part of her job as oversight to not only save SAPS from fruitless and wasteless expenditure, but to ensure that the supplier or the contractor is doing the correct claims when doing so. However, the context does conflict with this particular testimony because not only has she said that she is in a romantic relationship with this alleged cartel member, but there are also payments that we've seen being ventilated before the commission, allegedly, which seem to be a form of alleged kickback or gratification for this extensive kind of assistance that you're seeing, because from the WhatsApp exchanges, you really get the picture that this alleged cartel member, Vusimuzi Matlala, actually didn't know how this worked. And he really was relying on her to ensure that this, tender system would thrive for him and he'd be able to get those payments, get them very quickly, get accurate claims, no issues on his documentation when he submits it. So she was quite pivotal to that. But in addition to that context, not only her being pivotal, she also claims to have this romantic relationship. So there is a conflict of interest there. But also we're seeing payments being made, which she says were just between two partners. But there's also that possibility that it may have been an alleged form of gratification, which would support or motivate or explain why she would have had an alleged keen interest in not only assisting him, but ensuring that his claims were done and they were done timeously. So those are the kinds of WhatsApp exchanges you'll see going through Matjeng and Vusimuzi Matlala. I think they're quite extensive and they're going to take most of the day, but it's to test this claim that she was merely just in a relationship or on and off relationship with this individual and that she was just doing her job as management. But we've seen in the interactions that her actions have gone beyond the scope of what is required. You're even seeing in the last message that she's saying that she doesn't have a particular list because it's not in her environment. So she's really going to great lengths, if I could put it that way, to assist this particular individual. And of course, the transactions or the messages between the pair remain quite professional and are geared towards one particular aim or goal, which is to ensure that these payments are made that she is allegedly receiving kickbacks for or allegedly receiving gifts under the context of that being a relationship between two people.
Yeah, I did mention earlier that it's been quite an eventful morning because before Matjeng took to the witness box, Canny, there was that application brought forward by Suliman Carrim and his lawyer, and there's been a resolution now in the wake of that postponement application.
Indeed, we did break earlier this morning, just after 8 a.m., that the lawyers of Carrim would be moving for that postponement because they had only received a particular bundle, quite an extensive bundle, the night before. And of course, in less than 24 hours, there's no way they would have been able to prepare Suliman Carrim on that bundle that would be a part of that questioning before the Madlanga Commission. But of course, it wasn't something that was challenged. It wasn't opposed by the evidence leaders. So I think it was a seamless process. You may have seen them trying to put their grievances on the record, but the gist of it all is that no party was against this particular postponement. So all this does is it gives Suliman Carrim some breathing room and some time for his lawyers to prepare against the backdrop of the evidence that is going to be questioned before the Madlanga Commission when he returns in March. So that is just enough time for him, I think over 3 weeks, for him to get that evidence and I guess come up with a version that is plausible before the commission. As you've seen, the phase 2 of the testimony is actually implicated persons, so it's quite adversarial, and the probing gets quite intense at times. So he needs to be prepared to answer to those allegations, specifically that Medicare 24 contract, where you see at least over $1 million allegedly being sent to him after that contract is awarded. So plenty of explanations for him to provide for the commission and as to what role he played, if there was any alleged political influence on his part, and what are his alleged dealings with alleged cartel member Vusimuzi Cat Matlala.
If that wasn't enough, Canny, witness F was also meant to appear before the commission today, but because of, I suppose, of everything else that's happening, even his testimony has now been moved back. I think the dates that were given is the 16th and 17th of March.
Indeed, it's a bit of a musical chairs here at the commission as they try to, I guess, get back on the time that was lost during that initial postponement last week. And now you have witness F also hanging in the balance and having to be reshuffled to another date as they try to accommodate all of these phase 2 witnesses that will have to give their version before the commission. But because the schedule is so tight, you're going to often see this kind of instance where there may be objections and people have to be reshuffled, or someone may not finish their evidence in the correct time that is scheduled for them and will have to continue during someone else's slot. So this is going to be the events that you see over phase 2 of the testimony as witnesses gear up to give their rights of reply, if you put it that way, to the very serious allegations against them.
Canny Maphanga is our senior reporter, live to us from the Bridget Mabanda Justice College. A lot of moving parts for now, Canny. Thanks very much indeed.